everyone. I hope you're doing well and having a wonderful day. I am here to do an intuitive card reading on what the universe wants you to know right here, right now. So let's take a look at the cards to see what messages, insights, and guidance are coming through. So we have Carnelian, feed your creativity. This really feels like you are taking the time to step out of this autopilot mode where you're just, going through the motions, doing same old, going on autopilot, kind of like same routine. Like you're breaking out of that and you are feeding your creativity to maybe do creative projects, to maybe do creative new twists to your routine, to different ways you could potentially go to work, go home. Like you are finding ways to be innovative and just bring this fresh new air to your life where you can, see if you can bring a little more joy and excitement and eagerness and fun, because there's nothing wrong with routine and structure. It can be very, very helpful, but it can stifle us, it can grow stagnant, it can grow dull. So finding ways to spice things up, to liven them up with creativity is going to work wonders for you right now. We also have turquoise, awaken your empathy. So this feels like empathy not only for others but for yourself, like a self-compassion, compassion for others, like not being so hard on yourself or others. A lot of times if we are hard on others, it's because we are equally hard on ourselves, if not even more so. Like we can hold ourselves to such impossibly high standards, strive for perfection, not give any room for, breathing, room for error, room for, little slip-ups. The thing is, life can get messy. Life doesn't, fit in this neat little box. Life doesn't always go according to our plans. And so if we can learn to breathe, to be adaptable, to be flexible, to then have empathy for ourselves and compassion for ourselves and others when things don't go quite the way we'd hope, it's going to just let us have this ease in our lives. We'll be able to go with the flow. We'll be able to make the most of life. And feeding into the creativity component of it, because if we are being too harsh on ourselves, if we're not being gentle, if we're not giving ourselves and others grace, then we don't have this openness, this open mind, this open heart for the creative sparks to come in. Because, if you're being too harsh on yourself and you're always, trying to be perfect and never stray outside of the lines, it always has to be exactly so. And to be fair, there's nothing wrong with wanting to do well, with wanting to improve, with wanting to do the best you very possibly can. But if you're too rigid, if your standards are too high that you can't possibly achieve them, you're just going to be shooting yourself in the foot. You're just going to, start discouraging yourself unintentionally, because you're going to try and fall short and fall short and fall short and fall short. And it could start impacting your confidence. It could start impacting your ability to do things, because you're just like, well, I'm not measuring up. I'm not able to reach my goals. And so that's why a lot of people encourage you to set obtainable goals, not goals that are way too easy that you can just obtain just by not trying and be like, oh, done, but goals that are far enough away that they're a reach, that they help push you to grow and improve and try new things, but not so far away that they're close enough that it's not too impossible of a leap. So be gentle with yourself as you're navigating these times, because a lot of things are up in the air. There's a lot of shakeups, a lot of things popping off. Things are heating up. People's tempers and reaction to things are exploding, and it's getting intense. So be gentle with yourself and others. Have empathy and compassion, because we're all trying to do our best, and it is quite the journey. We also have attack, pain, fear, judgment, and any form of separation are merely calls for help. Yeah, this very much feels like it's tying into the turquoise card about, being too rigid, being inflexible, having these super high standards that you can't possibly obtain because it's perfection, and we're all humans, which means we're flawed, we're not perfect, we are the works in progress, but at the same time, that doesn't mean we're no good. Just because we have our weaknesses, our areas of challenge, our areas for growth, doesn't mean that we can't do any good in the world. It's just we need to start shifting our lens. So this is very much feeling like you should shift your lens to empathy and compassion, like with the turquoise card, because a lot of times if people are super harsh on other people, it's because they're so harsh on themselves, because they're their own worst enemy, their own harshest critic. They just never feel like they can measure up, and a lot of times misery loves company, so then they start taking that outward onto other people. And the thing is, if people are projecting all that outward, it's because of the inward, because life is a mirror in the sense that the energy you put out comes back to you. And so if you're seeing all this coming from a person, realize that that's going on in their internal world. The outer appearance that they have is a reflection of their inward appearance. So you can have empathy, you can have compassion, you can be kind to them, you can try to help them, but at the same time, also make sure you're being loving towards yourself. And if you need to set boundaries, if you need to limit what you can do to help, that's okay if that's what you need to do. But just realize that appearances aren't always what they seem. And these people, that are maybe exploding and having poor emotional regulation are just really needing help. Maybe you're not the right person to give it. Maybe they need somebody else. Maybe they need a professional, or maybe they won't listen to you, but you could then potentially reach out to other people who they would listen to. But it really feels like a time of creativity, openness, empathy, love. Oh, we also have, there is a stream of love supporting my dreams. Yeah, this really feels like your creativity is just flourishing with the love, with the positivity, with the hope. And this can be kind of a tricky thing with the outside world, because there will be people who are drawn to you because of your love, because of your light, because of your radiance. And then at the same time, while there are people out there who love that, there could be people who are repelled by that, who lash out because it feels too bright. Sometimes how when you just walk out of a room into the sunlight and it's just so bright, it's blinding you. It's like that. Your energy is just so intense that they feel they need to shield themselves from it, and they want to try to dim it, so they might lash out at you. So these really do feel like very tied together. They're all in the similar color scheme. Like we have the purples, the blues, the turquoise, and it just really is encouraging you to come from a place of love and empathy and compassion, and recognizing other people's behaviors for what they are. And that doesn't mean you give them a free pass. They're still, accountable for their choices, because just because they're in a tough situation doesn't mean, they're allowed to just hurt all these other people and lash out and be nasty. But at the end of the day, recognizing, okay, they need help, they're hurting, and just understanding the bigger picture and how love is the underlying current of everything. And if we could come from that energy, all our dreams would be coming to us so easily. It's just going to flow. We would ride the stream, go with the flow, and would unfold naturally with the magic of the universe. Let's see. We also have Magpie. Reevaluate your priorities. It's time to let go of what you no longer need. Yeah, this feels like you are letting go of pain and fear and judgment, and feeling like you're separated from the universe and its love, that you are letting go of stagnant routines and structures that no longer serve you. You're letting go of the old way of perceiving things. Like maybe the past version of you would have lashed out back at other people when they're attacking you, they're judging you, and they're having this nasty attitude. Maybe you're now stepping back and you're coming from a perspective of compassion, empathy, and love. You're like, I see you. It's not okay what you're doing, but I see what you're doing for what it really is. And a lot of times people who are attacking and judging and all that, they have this false sense of superiority or power, and we can feel like smaller because of it. Because like, oh, look at them. But it's just like we can step back and realize, oh no, you're actually not stronger than me. You're actually not better than me. I was just caught up in this illusion that you were, and I gave my power away unintentionally, but I don't have to do that anymore. So you're coming from this place of love, of understanding, and just seeing the bigger picture, and it's bringing all this clarity to you. We also have Nuthatch. Stay grounded and welcome the new knowledge and perspective come to you. Yeah, that's like what I was saying with the new perspective and letting go of the old. You are coming from this place of this inner strength, this inner resilience. You have a very strong, stable foundation internally. And because of that, you have a better awareness of the world around you and what's happening. And the outer world isn't shaking you. It's not, knocking you around. You're able to stay calm and serene and just stand your ground while everyone else may be losing their minds and running around with chickens with their heads cut off because they aren't developing that stable, strong, sound foundation internally. They're not, working on their inner peace. They're not working on their sense of self-love and self-confidence and their inner knowing of their worthiness. So because of that, they might be acting like, everything's ending and everything's going wrong, but you're able to see the bigger picture. And that because of this, you're welcoming in all this new insights, all this new guidance, all this new knowledge, and it's just changing everything for you, and you're able to see how all these different things weave together and make up the bigger tapestry of life. All the stories that are playing out, you're able to see more of it and understand more of it. And it's because you're coming from this place of love and understanding and compassion and empathy. So it's working out really beautifully for you. That's awesome. We also have Falcon. Use your keen perception and skill in making decisions. Do not delay. Yes, this very much feels like you are so much more intuitive. You have so much more clarity and focus, and you can see this bigger picture. And so the universe is really urging you not to delay, not to, get caught up in indecision and hemming and hawing and twiddling your thumbs like, should I, shouldn't I? Because maybe past experiences in your life, you weren't sure, you discredited your intuition because, society is all about logic and reasoning and being realistic and, not getting caught up in the woo-woo energy. Like, that's just crazy talk. We got to be scientific and follow the science, and that's not reasonable, this, that, and the other. But because you are taking this time to shift and get these new perspectives and view things in life differently, your perception, your intuition, your instincts are spot on. And the universe is encouraging you to go for it. Listen to what you already know internally. It will not lead you astray, and go for it. Do not delay. You got this. We also have the hen, nurturing. Yeah, this very much feels like you're taking time to nurture your inner world, but also nurturing people around you. And it's not like the story of the little red hen is coming to mind, and it feels like you are very aware and confident and knowing in your capabilities and that you're going to be okay no matter what. And so you're going to put in the work. And, even if it's not the most fun all the time, or it might take some time, like how the little red hen, was growing the seeds to make the wheat and was taking all the time to tend to the garden and then harvest and then turn it into bread. And then all of a sudden all the animals wanted to partake. They're like, oh, I want some, I want some, I want some. And so it feels like you may choose to share with them if you're feeling extra, compassionate and giving. But at the same time, you are being nurturing of yourself, and you know that that could be enabling their bad behaviors. And so it could be a little bit of a tough love, like, hey, I might share with you, but at the same time, I did all the work. I'm going to reap what I sow. Since I did all the work, I get to have this bountiful harvest. I get to, eat the bread in the story of the little red hen, versus all the other animals. They're reaping what they sowed. They sowed nothing, and so they reap nothing. And so some people might think, oh, that's too harsh. Oh, you're being unkind. Oh, what happened with you? You're not empathetic or compassionate at all. But at the same time, if you're always bailing other people out, if you're always doing things for other people, if you're not letting them do the work for themselves, you're actually doing them a disservice. You're hindering them and you're harming them because they don't realize what they're capable of. And that's not to say you don't help them out if they need it. That's not to say that you never give to other people. But you got to be aware of where your time, energy, and attention is going, and if it's being reciprocated, and if they truly need it. Because there are people who will claim they need it, but they're just using you as an energetic supply and to be lazy and to, not do the work themselves. Because it's just easier for them. They'd rather, bury all their stuff, not address it, and just like, oh, I need it, play victim. So be mindful about that. Yes, be compassionate. Yes, be empathetic. Yes, be loving and kind and generous and giving. But also don't let that get to the point of enabling, because enabling is not showing love. Enabling bad behaviors is actually being quite unkind, because that'll come to shoot them in the foot later. So be mindful of that. We also have the llama, endurance. Yeah, that very much feels like the endurance of the little red hen to keep putting in all the work, even though all these people are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna want to help you, and then they don't show up. And there's like, meh, and they're just kind of like, that doesn't seem like fun, that doesn't seem enjoyable, I'm not gonna do it. But you keep on showing up for yourself, because you know you will reap what you sow. You know the energy you put out into the world comes back to you. So you're nurturing your inner resilience, your inner endurance, your inner drive, your inner dedication and focus, because you know that it will lead to a bountiful harvest. You know that you will have that stable, firm, sound, strong foundation that will get you far in life, because you are cultivating your inner peace. You are cultivating your well-being, and you are caring about yourself. You're showing yourself love and kindness and compassion and empathy, so you can be the best version of yourself. You fill up your own cup. You're not giving and giving and giving to the point where you're empty. So you have the endurance to go far. Don't worry about that. Another perspective card, the seahorse perspective. So yeah, it really does feel like you are getting so much more perspective, and you are seeing things clearly, and you are able to understand and perceive the big picture. Because I know with my family, a lot of times they'll claim they're being loving, but they're just enabling a bunch of other people's bad behaviors. And they're like, no, they need this. And it's like, if they're having a rough patch, if they need a little extra support, sure. But they're literally giving people a free pass to do all these hurtful things. And it's like, no, they need this. And they're just enabling. And it's not actually love. So be careful with your perspective, your perception, because your perception makes your reality. The narratives you tell yourself will create your reality and impact what manifests in your life. So you are getting very clear on this. You're realizing that you have what it takes. You're very, stable. You're very grounded. You are very, and perceptive, and you will use your intuition, your instincts, your skills, your wisdom, all to serve you and go far. You have the heart, the mind, and the spirit to go and do whatever it is that you want. Armadillo spirit said healthy boundaries. Yeah, it really does feel like the energy of my family, because I've tried to set healthy boundaries with them and they just end up exploding because they want people to just roll over and go along with them. And that's not to say that they're horrible people. That's not to say that they have nothing good to offer, but I don't think they understand what healthy boundaries look like, because it kind of just feels like they want there to be no boundaries, for you to just cave and do whatever they want, to just keep enabling bad things, to not speak up. And so it feels like you're dealing with a lot of that as well. And so you have the perspective, you have the heart, the courage, the endurance, the love to set the healthy boundaries for yourself and for the others, because you know that if unhealthy boundaries are set, you are hindering and ultimately harming both parties, because healthy boundaries are good for both parties. It helps both parties learn, it helps both parties stay stable and grounded and get what they need. But the other people don't always see it that way. But you have the perspective to see it that way. And you have the endurance to make it happen. Okay. Nightingale spirit, love is all around. Yeah, this very much feels like there's so much love around you right now. Even if it's not necessarily in people. I'm not going to say there aren't any people around you giving you love, but it feels like the universe is sending you a lot of love. And the people around you may have the conditional love where there's a little not willing to show you much love because you're setting boundaries that they don't like. But that's okay, because the universe loves you, the universe is guiding you, the universe is supporting you and nurturing you, and that because you're focusing on your inner peace, your inner well-being, your inner guidance, you'll go far. You have everything that you need, and the universe will send the right people to you. So you'll never be alone. You'll never be without love. We also have Crow. Co-create with spirit. Yeah, it very much feels like you are getting in tune with the universe so you can have this powerful co-creations, which is why you're having all this perspective shifts, which is why you're tuning in and tapping into the energy and frequency of love, which is why you are reevaluating your priorities. It's why you're getting grounded. You're letting in all this new perspective and insights. You're getting more creative. You're getting focused on what you want and you're going to make it happen. So it's going to be a very beautiful, prosperous time for you, because of all the work and dedication that you're having, because you're not letting other people dictate what you do, how you do it, if you can't. Like, you are letting go of other people's expectations and control is what it very much feels like. You are stepping into your own power and making this beautiful life for yourself. And that's awesome. I'm excited for you. Let's see. We have Torch. Spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. Yeah, that just feels like this whole reading. Like, you are finding your inner fire and you're letting it illuminate the way. And the universe, because you're co-creating with the universe and spirit and the divine, it is feeding your fire. So it's even more clear for the path for you to take. And that's going to work out marvelously for you. Okay, we have Bull, do not back down from opposition, show strength and fortitude. Yes, it very much feels like the endurance and setting healthy boundaries and realizing that other people, even if they're trying to mean well, doesn't mean they have your best interests in heart or actually know what's best for you. That's not to say they're doing everything out of malicious intent, although there are those out there who do, but you are very firm in your inner compass and your inner foundation, your inner peace, your well-being, and you know what's best for you. You are getting in all this intuitive guidance and insights from the universe, and you don't need other people's approval. You don't need other people's validation. You don't need other people's criticism or judgment on whether you're doing it is right or wrong. You have everything you need inside you. So you're going to go for it. You're going to charge ahead. The path has been eliminated for you. And we have forest. Muddled, unclear thinking. Yeah, the muddled, unclear thinking comes from the other people, from the external world, from their expectations, their judgments, their fears, their attacking, their lashing out, feeling separated from the universe. Like all of that, all the feelings of lack and all these negative narratives that can result in downward spirals, that is going to muddle up your perception and take away your clarity. So get very in tune and know that love is all around you. So you don't need to worry. No matter what, the universe is with you. It's here co-creating with you. So you're going to be A-okay. And even if you can't see the path, know that the universe is lighting the way for you. You're guided. So we also have wheel. Indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. Yeah, this feels like if you are muddying your cup with, the fear, the anxiety, ideas of lack, hatred, bitterness, resentment, all this heavier negative frequencies. Not that they're inherently bad, because those negative experiences and feelings can give us the contrast we need and provide clarity in the sense of, I don't want that. Okay, I thought maybe I'd want to go down this path. I now see it for what it is. It's not what I thought. And I am going to course correct and change and move away from that. So you don't want to have, your unclear thinking to cause indecisiveness and let you get lost. But at the end of the day, know that you're never truly lost, because the universe is always there speaking to you. We just need to quiet our mind, find some peace, and listen, because it's always speaking to us. But it speaks quietly. It speaks gently. It's not going to be forceful. It's never going to force us to do anything. It wants us to have our free will and to choose the life we live. So sometimes we just need to calm down and quiet down in order to hear its guidance. But it's always going to have love for us and support and guide us. So you don't need to worry. It may feel like the world is very chaotic, but you are being shown the way. The universe is surrounding you in all this love and prosperity and guidance. So know that you're going to be A-okay. You have the inner endurance. You have the inner peace. You have the stable, sound foundation. So don't let the outside world try to sway you, try to muddy your perspective, to shift how you're viewing things, because you're A-okay. You are very loved, and you are on your way to such a beautifully prosperous life. So I'm wishing you all a wonderful rest of your day. Please take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye!